Good evening, Tamagwini, Togozani. Greetings to everyone who's watching, and special shout out to my fellow healers, all the gifted children, the star seeds, and I'd just like to thank you for watching. I'm going to talk tonight about cleansing. And this is a very good time to cleanse because this is the time of the waning moon. The moon is getting smaller. I think at present it's about 38% illuminated, less than 40%. And this moon phase lasts for about a week before the new moon comes round. So you'll find even in the Bible, they used to celebrate the new moon festival as a time of renewal, something new. And around the world, different traditions celebrate different moon phases. But the waning moon is a good time to do a cleansing. This is a time when you let go of everything that no longer serves you. If you are plagued or beset with enemies and you feel like you are under spiritual attack, this is also a good time to take a spiritual bath or use a salt scrub or do something just to release that energy from your aura. So there are many different things that you can use to do a cleansing. I'm just going to go through a few that I've used personally that I have in my possession. And I'm going to see if I can turn my camera around so that we can show you what I have. Okay, looks like I'm challenged with technology today. I don't know if I'll be able to turn it around. Okay, so I wasn't able to turn my camera around straight away, but I can do it now. So I've got several things that I have here that we can use for cleansing. And these are 3 herbs that I got from a healer friend of mine. She lives in Zimbabwe, so she gathered and ground these for me personally. This one is called green Manda. Green Manda is from a tree. It's the leaves, so it is the green leaves that have been finely ground. You can burn it as incense, so if you use a piece of charcoal, you can burn it. It helps to chase evil spirits from your house, negative energy, any low vibrational entities that are hanging around, so you can use it for that. There's also brown Manda, which is a different species of the same tree. We call it by many other names. It's known as Makoma or Wangazi in my mother's language, which is Chindao. I'm going to just put my camera down so that I can open up for you to see what that particular herb looks like. So this is what it looks like. Finely ground brown powder. You just need a little bit. You can put it in a bucket or your bath, and then you can use it to make a spiritual bath. So that's brown Manda. Another one, also from Zimbabwe. This is known as Mtandangozi, and this is actually pieces of the wood. It's a very hard wood, so it's very difficult to grind, but this is what it looks like. So when you use this, you actually need to boil it so that you get the essence. Then you strain out the hard bits, and then you use it in your bath, either bathtub or bucket. Ideally, when you do a spiritual bath, you want to use a bucket, because then if you can, you then throw the water away outside. But if you can't, it's fine to let it go down the drain. That's also fine. In Zimbabwe, people use finely ground snuff, which is known as bute. I've got that little piece of the straw in there because that's how I get it into my little horn for snuff, which is known as nekwe. So all you need is a pinch of this finely ground snuff to put in your bath. You don't need a lot, just a pinch will do. It also helps with cleansing, and it helps you, especially if you have an ancestral gift, to bring your ancestors closer. Then we have a few fresh herbs. So this is peppermint, picked it from the garden. You can just put the leaves in boiling water, strain out the leaves, add the liquid to your bath. You can also use it for steaming or futa. It's very good for colds and flu. You can drink it as tea as well. It's safe to drink, but very good in terms of cleansing qualities. I do have the peppermint essential oil, but I'll go through the essential oils just now. This one is a herb you can buy at the supermarket. It's called rosemary. It has a very fresh, sharp scent, very good again for cleansing. You can take the fresh herbs, add to boiling water, and add to your bath, or you can take the herbs when it's fresh, add it to cold water, leave it to steep overnight, add a bit of coarse salt, like a handful or a tablespoon, depending on the quantity you've made, and you can then put that into your bath water once you strain out the solids, because you don't want to block your drain. Another very good herb for cleansing is aloe. This one looks a little bit dried, but that's because I've been rooting it, so it's growing. Otherwise it's not dead, it's very much alive. You take the leaves when the plant is fully grown. The leaves grow very thick, maybe this wide and fleshy, and you can just take the leaves, rip them up into pieces, add them to a bath, and use the water to cleanse yourself. What I've observed is a lot of people after funerals, they will wash their hands in water with pieces of aloe, and that's to cleanse the graveyard dirt from their hands, to prevent any negative energies or spirits following them home after the burial. And normally, if it's a family that's bereaved, the whole family will need to wash in that water. Aloe has got antibacterial properties, and it's also very good for the skin. So very good cleansing herb. So that's the herbs that I have in stock. In terms of what I have available, I've used all of them for cleansing, and it's really just using them to cleanse your aura and just remove that negative energy. Then there are other things that you can use. So I have here coarse sea salt. I've just put it in this little bowl so you can see, and it doesn't matter what brand you use. I mean, this I bought from the supermarket. It's not very costly, and you can use sea salt to cleanse. That's because sea salt actually has the ability to pull negative energy out of your body, just like water does. So when you use coarse salt with water, it actually does a very good job of cleansing and taking out that negative energy. The other thing you can use is ash. This is actually incense ashes that I've been keeping from my prayers, but you can buy the holy ash from the shop. You can take ash from the braai. If you have a braai or you use a cooking fire at home, you can take that ash and put it in your bath, and it will help with your cleansing. Then it's important, especially with holy ash, the one that you buy in the Indian shops, you just need to be careful. I have heard some healers say that you shouldn't use it too often because you don't really know what they say or do when they are making that holy ash. In India, they burn these heaps of straw, and they make incantations and things like that over the ash heaps, and then they sell this ash all over the world for cleansing. So it's good to use once in a while, but you mustn't use it too often. Another very good cleansing item is the camphor blocks. So what you do is you take the block out, you crumble it into hot water. You can use it first as for steaming. It's very good, especially if you've got a cold or flu. and then you can use the water once it's dissolved to bath and just cleanse yourself. Then you've heard of iswasho. The only I have in stock is the one that I make, and I use a white powder that's known as umavula uvaliwe, because what we're trying to do is to attract good things in life and cleanse, the negative energy that repels things that are good in our lives. So I use the white powder. That's what my guides have specifically guided me to do. And I mix it with coarse salt. I also mix in some essential oils just to make sure that the mixture is more potent, more effective. When I prepare iswasho for different people, I seek out guidance and I then choose the essential oils. So everyone's iswasho is a little bit different. They're not all the same. Then we go to the essential oils, and I've just picked in random order. I've not gone by alphabetical order, but this is frankincense. Again, powerful for cleansing. When I say my prayers, I actually burn frankincense incense along with myrrh because of their potent spiritual qualities. If you recall the story of the birth of Jesus, he was given frankincense and myrrh as gifts. Both frankincense and myrrh are resins that come out of the tree. When the tree emits sap and that sap dries, they take that and they refine it, distill it to get the essential oil, and that's what they sell as essential oil. But the resin itself can be used for medicine. It has antibacterial and antifungal qualities as well as spiritual qualities. I'm just going to put my camera down here so that I can just pick up that bottle of oil that just fell. The other one that I have that I've used, I haven't actually used it as yet, but this is known as Chang. It's a citrus oil, more popular, I believe, in Asia, but it's used as an alternative to lemongrass. So that's the Chang oil. And I do have lemongrass oil. Very good for cleansing. Lemongrass does grow in Africa. So you can go and get the actual fresh or dried lemongrass and put it in water. If it's fresh, cold water, leave it to steep overnight to get the essential oils out. Or you can put the dried lemongrass and boil it. But I just find it's less admin to get the actual lemongrass oil. And it's not very expensive. It's one of the easiest oils that you can find. I'm just going to lay these out so that at least if you want to see the labels, I'll try and put them here so you can see. Move this up a little bit, maybe prop this up there. So that's the frankincense. Then this is the myrrh essential oil. We have the Chang. I found this in London, in the UK, a shop called Holland and Barrett. I'm going to put this one here. This is lime oil. So all citrus oils are good for cleansing, particularly lemon, lime, and lemongrass. Orange and sweet orange oil and bergamot. Bergamot is also very good for cleansing. However, orange oils work best with the sacral chakra, so they're best used for attraction work when you're trying to attract good things into your life rather than cleansing where you're releasing. Another good oil for cleansing is juniper berry. It's also got a sharp flavor, sharp scent as well. Then you have lemon oil. So if you can't get hold of lemon oil, you can just get the lemon, the fruit, slice it up with the rind on, because the essential oil is contained within the rind. Then you can mix that into your bath with some bath salts. I'm going to just lay this one here so that you can see. And then another essential oil is pine. That's very good for cleansing. So you find a lot of cleaning products have pine. Pine has spiritual properties in terms of chasing out evil energy. That's why it's also popular for cleansing. I did mention peppermint essential oil. This is my bottle of peppermint oil. So I use the fresh herb for drinking, and then I use the essential oil for cleansing. And then another oil that is very good is eucalyptus. Very good for cleansing, also good for colds and flu. I think you might have noticed a trend. A lot of the oils that are good for cleansing also are very good if you have the flu or a cold. So oils like lemongrass, lime, lemon, the pine as well is good if you've got a flu, eucalyptus, and peppermint, all very good for cleansing and very good for colds. So I generally use my essential oils together with coarse salt. I did say earlier that I do mix iswasho, which is the white powder that you get in the Indian shop, with the coarse salt, and then I add essential oils depending on the nature of the work that I'm trying to do. And if I'm blending for a particular person, I use a particular fragrance or a particular essential oil or blend of essential oils, depending on the work that I'm trying to do. So just to recap, you can use herbs, dried herbs. So I've got those three. Green banda, brown banda, and mtandangozi. Mtandangozi is specific for if you have vengeful spirits or really dark evil spirits after you. You know that there's some karmic debt that your family has, and there's spirits that are now haunting you as a result. So you use mtandangozi for that. Generally, you can do a spiritual bath for 1 day, 3 days, 5 days, or 7 days, depending on how severe you feel the problem is. But that's for self-cleansing. Generally, I don't recommend that you use herbs unless you've been directed by a healer who knows how to use them, knows what to combine, when and how. But the supermarket herbs like peppermint, rosemary, you can do the same with other supermarket herbs like sage. Sage is very good for cleansing if you can buy sage. And thyme. I have prepared a herbal bath using rosemary, peppermint, sage, and thyme, and you basically rip it up into the smallest pieces as you can, just to bruise the leaves. You put it in cold water, you leave it to steep overnight, then you strain out the leaves, add some coarse salt, because if you want to keep the wash for a while, you don't want it to ferment. So you add salt so it doesn't ferment, and then you can add that liquid to your bath, or you can use it to mop your floor, to just cleanse your space, cleanse your house. You can also use whatever mixture you use to bath, you can sprinkle in your house. If you feel particularly heavy energy, you can use, obviously you'll use tap water as much as possible, but if you can get access to clean water from the river, that's also very good to mix into your spiritual bath, because running water carries the properties of releasing whatever energy that is clinging to your aura. You can use seawater, but when you're doing specific type of work, but generally flowing water from a river is best. If you're doing a deep cleansing, if you can get hold of water from a still pool, like under a waterfall or something like that, then that is also very good for cleansing. But it's deep cleansing, and there's certain things that you need to do. Obviously, when you go and you collect water from a pool, because spiritually, there's a lot of deep things that happen there. I've mentioned the use of finely ground tobacco. This one is known as bute in Shona. And for those that have Ndao guides, that's their preferred type of tobacco or snuff. And then I also talked about the camphor blocks. Again, very good for cutting, for clearing, for cleansing. If you want to cleanse your house as well or keep negative, unwanted energies out, some healers recommend taking the camphor blocks and putting them in the four corners of your house. And that also helps just keep unwanted spiritual entities out. And I've spoken about aloe. Any aloe can be used for cleansing. It's really an amazing plant. It's got healing properties. If you break off a piece, it self-heals. So it's just important that we use that. Then I talked about iswasho. I do blend my own. You can get it from a healer, or you can buy it already blended from the Indian shop. Iswasho come in different colors, so they use color correspondences. So white is a combination of all the colors, so it's a very good catch-all if you want to cleanse. You can get the red powder, blend it with your salt if you want to, or use it on its own. Red I generally recommend for protection work, especially if you have, angry, vengeful, annoying spirits that are just bugging you. Orange will work with your sacral chakra, so that's a combination of yellow and red, and that invokes your guides that are protective, as well as your guides on your mother's side, which is the yellow. They're symbolized by the yellow, and the orange means you get both the protection as well as the psychic, enhanced sort of psychic knowing, because yellow enhances mental clarity, and if you have psychic gifts, it enhances those as well. That's why you find some healers wear yellow prints and yellow fabrics in terms of head wraps and robes and capes. It's because they have psychic gifts. Then you get green, which is a combination of blue and yellow. The blue, again, enhances your clairvoyant gifts if you have any. And blue is generally used in iswasho just to bring peace and calm to a situation through the color correspondence. It also works with the throat chakra, so it enhances your communication. And then we also have, you can get red and blue mixed together, which is purple. That works with your crown chakra. It enhances your ability to connect to the divine. And there's some healers that will mix those colors and with certain herbs in order to accomplish certain things. So these are just the basic things for self-cleansing. My general guidance when you are cleansing yourself, doing a DIY cleanse, is to try and do it regularly. If you feel your energy is heavy and needs a boost, you can do it once a week or twice a week, or even once a month, or whenever you feel like it. I did recommend that this waning moon phase, particularly if you want to do work to release anything, is a good time to do a cleansing. But however, you can do a cleansing, a spiritual bath at any time. If you find you don't have time for a bath, because generally you start off by having your normal bath or shower with soap or shower gel, whatever you use to clean your body. Your body first must be clean before you have a spiritual bath. Then you mix whatever you are using, either in the bath or the bucket, and you get in, if it's a bath, or you splash it over your body and you rub yourself, and you say whatever you want to happen in your life, whatever you want to release or whatever you want to attract. You say that as you have the spiritual bath. If you don't have time to do that, because obviously that's like a two-phase thing, one thing you can do is a salt scrub. So you can get into the shower, you mix in a bowl or whatever vessel you've got fine salt. Fine sea salt is the best, but fine any salt will do. Fine salt, and you add some oil. It can be a vegetable oil, it can be olive oil, it can be coconut oil. A mixture of coconut and olive oil are good because both are good for your skin. And then you scrub yourself down from head to toe. If you have a sensitive skin on your face, then maybe avoid your face, but it's also good if you can just scrub very lightly on your face. And you then stand under the shower and you rinse, and you're done. I like salt scrubs because when you come out of the shower, your skin just feels so amazing. You've been exfoliated as well as obviously removing the negative energy. So I'm just going to leave it there, and I hope that this helps. Personally, I mostly use salt for my spiritual bath with essential oils. Occasionally, I'll use the swasher for something specific. Maybe I will mix also the ash, holy ash, with the coarse salt, and then once in a while, you know, if when I'm led, I will use the snuff, and you just need a pinch. You don't need copious amounts when you really need to connect with your guides. There are other things that you can use for cleansing, but generally you want to get guidance from a healer before you use those, because there's different spiritual properties and different entities that are evoked when you use them. So I hope you found this useful, and I wish you a pleasant evening and all the best with your spiritual baths and your manifestations. Thank you for watching.